Hey guys, Jim here. I want to share with you now another new acquisition of mine from Chris Martin at Phantom Steelworks, and this is called the Dub Impact. And for those of you that have not seen them, I have done other videos on Chris's work in the past. Please go check them out, and you'll get an idea of just how insanely talented this young guy is. Does incredible work, thinks outside of the box, and just does shit that nobody else does. And whether it's making a full custom knife like you're seeing here, or modifying another knife like one of my videos, I sent him one of my Chris Reeve Umnumzans, and he just completely altered its personality and made it an incredible, incredible showpiece. He does things in a very edgy, very, I don't know, hardcore kind of way. And this is really an expression of who he is. This is a brand new model, and I'm going to show you a standard model in a few minutes to give you an idea of the differences. But mine, when I ordered mine, I did his pre-order, and I paid the monies for a regular one, which he charges $9.75 for the standard version. And I said, I kind of want to go balls to the wall with this one. He says, well, I'm going to be getting some Timascus in, and I can make you a Timascus presentation side. I'm like, yeah, and that's great, but I'd really love a full frame lock in Timascus, meaning presentation side and lock side. And he's like, yeah, I can do that. So we had agreed to that, and then he was going to surprise me with a Damascus blade, and I ended up changing my mind on that because I really wanted, I wanted it to be brighter and I don't know. I think it's just a better composition with the brightly colored Timascus. So just before he sat down to start working on it, I said, can you do your incredible textures in the Timascus? And he's like, well, he goes, I tell you, he goes, if I slip and I screw up, that's several $100s for each piece of Timascus. And that's going to be really, really expensive if I screw up. He goes, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to see if I can get it, nail it the first time, torch it right. Because there's a lot of work here. I mean, you've got all the carving that he does, and then all of the torching. And you screw up, you kind of have to just replace the whole friggin' piece and then do all this work all over again. And I am very happy to see that everything came out perfectly. It did not cost me an extra few hundred for a replacement scale, or replacement slab, I should say. And yeah, I am just absolutely blown away. I could not be happier with this knife. It's something that I didn't expect it to be quite as, miraculous as it really is. But when you see it in person, it really blows you away. Now, the whole concept behind the Dub Impact, what that means is double impact. He's made this where no matter how you hold this knife, you have something that can be used as a weapon. And we're used to seeing skull crushers and things like that done on the backside of a handle. Well, that's obviously incorporated in here. It comes to a nice little point, but then he's also done it right up here as well. So you can literally, if you can't get the knife open for some reason and you just got it in your hand, you've got a weapon. You could be pushing into pressure points with pretty much every part of this damn knife. It's insanity. And that was the whole design concept behind it. So what you're looking at is overall just about 8 1/4 inches. Just a touch under a 4-inch blade. And it's even if you measure it from the pivot to the point, it's just barely 4 inches. So it's a little bit under. And folded, it's about 5 1/4 inches. So it's a good full-size knife. Let me give you guys a size comparison here. And I have to apologize. I really don't own any production knives anymore. I have 2 production knives, and they're both ZT-0801s. So unfortunately, the days of me being able to compare some of these knives to knives that we can commonly come across and most people own, those days are pretty much done. There is my custom clip, by the way, that I had made for the 0801 CF. I think it came out fantastic. So here is your side-by-side size comparison. it really comes out to be almost the same size. Now, there's obviously a lot of curvature in the Dub Impact, whereas the Rexford Design ZT is a much more straight plane, but this is going to feel larger in the hands. So we'll get that out of the way and give you guys a nice little tour. We'll start from the back side and the clip. Custom sculpted and contoured Timascus clip. And the pattern of Timascus being used here is Alpha Knife Supply, obviously the only people that make Timascus. It's Alpha Knife Supply's Kaleidoscope Timascus. And it is absolutely amazing. And what adds more depth is the deep carvings that Chris has done. And when you move this in the light, it's just incredible, absolutely incredible. So he's going from these rich purples and golds, fading back to purple, then into the icy blue. This is an Alpha Knife Supply pivot that he's obviously customized and carved up. And then the deep carvings in the blade, even down into the flipper tab. Gorgeous work. He put a really nice edge on this. This is the sharpest knife that I have received from Chris as of yet, and it's just fantastic. Great grinds, very symmetrical, by the way. As you can see here, just did a great job left hand to right hand. Then, of course, all of the spine work on the blade. Nice looking standoffs. And then we come back around to this side, the presentation side. It is an absolute jaw dropper. Now, this is a one-off. He's not going to be offering full frame lock Timascus. He will do presentation side Timascus. He's already made one other one I've already seen. That is an incredible looking knife. Now, for those interested in spending about half the amount of money that I spent on this, his standard model is done in the carved titanium. And this is just one of the examples. He does so many different patterns and so many different color schemes throughout his knives. Really, no two knives will ever be alike. So if you ever order whatever, whether it be a Skinwalker, a PF2, an Operator, an XL, it doesn't matter. Every knife that he puts out is inherently going to be a one-off. There will never be two that are identical because of all of the hand work that's put into each one. Between the carvings and the colors, they're always going to be different. Now, this one I'm actually going to be offering on my August 1st live knife show, so somebody's going to be able to buy this and have this in their collection. This has got a more unique blade shape on it. This is the standard Tanto blade shape. This is something a little bit different, but that is what the standard variation would look like. And you don't have to get the heat colors if you don't want. He's already made some that are just regular titanium with blasted areas, and then he's polished off the high points, and those look incredible as well. They're a lot more low-key than these colored variations. But when people ask, you know, what's his quality like, what are his actions like, I got to tell you, he has made very, very big improvements in the past year. I know my PF1, there's no way that I could have just unlocked it and dropped the blade down. He's using roller thrust bearings around the pivot here, which are giving him a terrific degree of smoothness all the way around. He's got just the right amount of lock bar tension on there so that you've got an effective detent, but it's not dragging on the blade, causing a lot of friction. There's only one thing is Chris has not quite yet perfected that really hard, snappy detent. And I'm not saying that's really a bad thing. Not everybody likes a hard detent like I do, but I'm very, very much about very hard, very snappy detents. As you saw like here, I can really preload on this flipper, and this is broken in quite a bit, by the way, and it just flies open. This one, you're not really going to be able to light switch it. It really is a push button kind of flipper, which I honestly think that's why he set the flipper tab where he did and flattened off the back. Notice it doesn't come up to a hump or a point because he really wants you to push down on it. So by that design, it obviously works fantastic. But yeah, if I were to go to light switch it, it doesn't come out super crazy fast. It's obviously flipping open and it's going to full lock. But for those that need an absolute snappy detent, you really do have to specify that with him. Make sure that he knows that that's an important feature for you, and he will put in the extra time and effort to do what he can to make you happy on that. Overall, I'm completely blown away. I am on a Timascus and zirconium kick right now, so I'm buying a lot of knives that incorporate those materials or are made in whole in those materials. And I'll tell you right now, I really, honestly, truly don't feel that I need another Timascus piece for any time in the foreseeable future. I got this yesterday. It immediately went in the pocket and went out with me for the day. It carries great. It feels great. And what a freaking showpiece. When you pull something like this out of your pocket, even non-knife people are going to appreciate it. They're going to look at that and go, oh my God, that's a freaking work of art, man. And it really is. This is, for a lot of people would not carry this knife. A lot of people would never dream of using this knife. They would buy this just to simply have as a showpiece. And I can completely appreciate that. For me, though, if it's not going to get carried, it's not going to get kept. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to run this through the ringer and abuse the shit out of it and start batoning it, but it is a knife that it will see very regular pocket time. And you know what? On those days when you've got something you got to fucking do, you're going to pull it out and you're going to cut with it. That's just the way it is. So to Chris, I say, dude, you knocked it out of the park. I could not possibly be happier with this. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. The ergonomics. Again, for my sized hand, I can only go by my sized hand. I wear a size large glove, and this just fits me perfectly. It's got a little choil up here as well, so you can choke up on it if you want to. It's slim without being overly skinny. It's not really very heavy at all, because obviously Timascus is just forgings of different compounds of titanium. So it's still titanium lightweight. I got to tell you, it is one of the knives that immediately out of the packaging blew my mind. Just blew my mind. And as a matter of fact, as I say that, it makes me think about the packaging. Hold on one quick second. Let me go grab the packaging that he offers. Because he just started doing this. As a matter of fact, my delivery was delayed by a few days because he wanted to wait until the new boxes came in. So he's using the honor boxes that a few other guys are doing, like Dustin Turpin, a couple other guys, Greg Medford. And it really is a badass presentation. It's good quality. You know that your knife was protected during the shipment. And the cool thing is, if you're like me, I'm very big on my initial presentation. If I'm spending this kind of money, I mean, you got to realize this is, oops, stop banging your camera. I mean, this is, just about $2,000. When I'm spending that kind of money, I don't want it to arrive in a fucking plastic bag or wrapped up in a shop towel. I want to feel like I've spent my money for a reason. That the maker cared enough to spend some money and take the time to order and unpack and set everything up to have good packaging. So once I'm done with that, once I've got that initial impression out of the way, and I feel like I've gotten my money's worth, I've got a nice presentation, yeah, I have a huge Rubbermaid bin that all of my pouches and cases and boxes sit in, because I don't have the room in my house to just have them lying around. So I know that when I've gotten it, it's impressed me. And I know that if I ever sell it or trade it, I'm giving somebody a nice presentation as well. But the other cool thing about the guys that are using these honor boxes, these are really, really good for travel cigar cases. So for those of you that smoke cigars, you just get a little button-style humidifier. You throw it in here, and you can carry 3 to 5 cigars with you. And it's airtight, watertight, it floats. So for the days you're out smoking cigars on the boat, I don't know, whatever. But there are multiple purposes for that. So I think it's very cool that he's taken that extra step to offer that. But honestly, this is one of those knives that even if it had arrived in just a Ziploc baggie, I probably wouldn't have cared too much because the knife is just that impressive. It's beautiful all the way around. I love this curvature throughout the spine of the knife. It doesn't look or feel like anything else in my entire collection. And at some point, you want to reduce your repetitiveness through your collection. You don't want to be buying the same style of knives all the time. And we've all fallen into that rut, especially when you fall into, like right now I have 3 Grimsmo Norsemans. I bought 4 in the past 3 months. Yes, I did fall in love with them that quickly. But even though they're the exact same knife, I will only buy variations that are wildly different. Some that are shinier and prettier, some that are a little bit more of a working finish, some that have a polished blade or a blasted blade. So there's got to be a difference. There's got to be a reason for me to own each individual one. And with a knife like this, I don't have anything in full Timascus. I probably will never own another frame lock built out of Timascus. I don't own any other knives in this shape that feel this way or with this degree of hand carving done into it. So yeah, that's another thing that you have to love about it. It's just that much different. The other thing is I love dealing with Chris. Chris and I have developed a friendship over the past 2 years, and he has just been an awesome, super supportive guy. Lots of fun to bullshit with. And I love seeing the creativity that comes out of him. But also, the dude's got brass balls. I mean, so big and brassy they clank when he walks. Because you can literally say, like I did, hey, make me a full frame lock in Timascus. Okay. Well, can you then carve it up and torch it up? Okay. Like, he almost doesn't hesitate. He will take on the craziest requests. And that's fun for a customer to be able to deal with a knife maker that doesn't really say no. How much fun is that? And we've all dealt with makers that we like and that we respect, and we go, hey, would you do this or do that? And they go, no. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, and everybody has their own reasons for doing so, and I'm not knocking anybody. But it is somewhat disheartening to hear no, 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 no. As an example, I still want to build a knife that's done in bronze with white Juma inlays. And I tried to have that done. It failed. It didn't work. You guys have seen the video on my channel. And nobody else that I've contacted will work with it because Juma is a serious, hardcore pain in the ass to work with. I hate hearing no as often as I hear it on that one thing. It'll happen someday. I'll find somebody that'll do it, and then I'll be happy for the moment, because that's how we all are. It never lasts forever, right? We're always searching for the next thing. But when you get a maker that says, okay, I'll try that. Oh, well, that's outside of my comfort zone. I've never done, hidden hardware, or I've never worked with zirconium, or whatever the case may be. And they go, but you know what? I want to try that. I want to challenge myself, and I want to create for you something that's unique because I've never done it before. And there is so much fun to that. When you get that in your hands and you go, wow, this was really almost a partnership between me and my maker. How cool is that? So there you go, guys. There is the look at the Dub Impact full Timascus frame lock. One that is not leaving my collection. A lot of times I get emails right after I upload videos, oh, if you ever want to sell that, please keep me in mind. Don't even bother, because this is not going anywhere. And if it did, it would be a stupid amount of money that you wouldn't want to spend, because it would be that hard to get it away from me. All right, guys, I'm out of here for right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will try to get some more videos up as quickly as I humanly can.